guys, welcome back to another build video. Today, the house that I'm building in The Sims 4 is basically the house from the game 60 Seconds. And if you don't know about the game, it basically takes place after a nuclear bomb goes off and kind of wipes out the whole city. And you get 60 seconds to get all the items you can in the house so you can take it with to your fallout shelter and you try and survive and you try and get rescued. So that's how you win the game. I thought that it would be really fun for me to try and recreate the house, but a very difficult thing that I didn't notice straight away was that every time you load like a new game, the house layout changes. So sometimes you get the same rooms, but sometimes you'll get like a small main bedroom and sometimes you'll get a large main bedroom. So not all of the rooms will look exactly the same as in the actual game, but you know, I didn't think I did too bad of a job. And yeah, it was actually just really fun to kind of do something based off of a different game. I think I want to do quite a few videos like that just because I had a lot of fun making this house. And it doesn't look exactly similar, but I did try and I don't really mind the outcome. So basically, when you're like busy getting stuff in the 60 Seconds game, all of the doors are kind of open. It's kind of like a little archway, so this is kind of an awkward house to play in because there's no actual closed doors other than the front door. Everything's just kind of open, but that's just what I saw in the actual game that I was basing it off of, and I wanted it to be as accurate as possible, so that's why there's no doors and there's just like a lot of openness. I think the first room we're going to start with is where you actually throw all of the stuff into, so it's like the entrance of the fallout shelter, and I put like that kind of crazy carpet there because I didn't know how to symbolize that this is the hole where the bunker's going to be, and so I just kind of used like that carpet, which I think came with a free update. I'm not too sure, but I do like that carpet. Sometimes it reminds me of like giraffes and stuff, but this one that's more specific to giraffes. And over here, I think this is going to be the start of the kitchen, but later I needed more space, so I moved the kitchen to a different place, and this becomes the bathroom. And generally, there's like a smaller bathroom on the end of the hallway, but I moved that to where the lounge was because there wasn't a lot of space for the lounge. It was just really hard to get the proportions right from seeing how the outside of the house looked to how much space there is on the inside, because from the outside it looks like a really tiny house, but when you go inside it's not that tiny. So it was kind of challenging, but I did like the way it turned out. I didn't think it was that bad. And basically the reason why I wanted to do this video is just because it was something small and something fun to do. It was actually very disappointing because I had a lot of videos lined up that I wanted to post and everything, and I don't remember how many I've saved, but basically I was making them throughout the whole year, so there was like a year's worth of builds in there, and it sounds like a lot, but it must have been just like 20 builds or something that I purely didn't release because I couldn't think of a title. So I was like, oh, one day I'll have like an amazing brainstorm and get the titles that I want, and then I can like start posting them and releasing them on YouTube. And I lost everything because I waited too long, so that really sucks. It really discouraged me, but I am still going to try. I can remake them because I still have them in my Sims world, but it just kind of sucks when you make something you're super proud of and you lose everything. And it's not just like one build I really liked. There's a lot of builds that I really liked, and now I have to redo them, which kind of sucks, but you know, life happens and it's just one of those things. So I'm going to hopefully be getting some more builds out, but it might take me a little bit longer because I don't have them pre-recorded, and this is like my final year of high school, so it's kind of big and I need to do a lot of studying, so I don't have a lot of time to be on The Sims, sadly. But I'll try and make a plan, and if I'm not really active, then I'm sorry. It's purely just because there's a few things to do and I don't have things really saved up. But back to the build, the living room, which is the room I'm doing right now, this was actually a very difficult room for me to do, purely because this was a really tiny room that I had to work with, and the picture I was basing this build off of had a very big living room space, but there just wasn't a place for this living room to go that was big enough. The kitchen fit perfectly in that little room, and the bathroom was perfect in this room, and I needed the two other biggish rooms for the bedrooms because the bedrooms were also kind of big. So the living room was just really a pain to do, and in the end I kind of just moved the living room to the end of the hallway where there's supposed to be a smaller bathroom, just because there's a little bit more space, and I was running out of ideas to try and get the living room to work. So that's what I ended up doing, and I do actually like this long kind of bathroom. I like the way it's set out, and it was just really weird because there wasn't actually a toilet in this bathroom. There's one on the end of the hallway which I moved, but there wasn't one in this bathroom, and I really wanted to add it one, but I tried to stay true to the build, and I was like, you know what, I can't see one in the picture, so I won't do it. But I do like the way it turned out, and I like using the move objects cheat to put like a little curtain over there on top of the bathtub. But I don't know, that was a good bathroom. I think that might be one of my favorite rooms in this house, between that maybe and the kids room, and over here is where we're moving the living room, because there was just like a little bit more space. I think there was literally like one row of extra spacing, and I'm like, I need this to look fairly okay. And after a while I stopped looking at the reference picture, and I'm like, you know what, I'll include the items, but it might not be in the exact order because it's too hard to try and do that in such a small space. So I'm sorry that this living room isn't really the exact same as it is in the game, but I did try, and with what I was given, I don't think it was too bad in my defense. And here is the second bathroom, which, like I said, it's supposed to be at the end of the hallway, but because I moved the living room there, this is just like a bit, it's just moved around a bit, and there was still a lot of room in here, and I believe in the game there's just a toilet, a sink, and a few like countertops places, but there was enough room for a bathtub. And in the end of the day I was like, you know what, let me just put a bathtub in there. Over here we have the kids room. So this is Mary Jane and Timmy's room, and the green wallpaper, they had striped green wallpaper, like vertically striped, and there were actually a different set of wallpaper that was perfect, except they didn't have it in green, and they had it like in blue, in grey, but they didn't have it in green. And at the end of the day I was like, you know what, this wallpaper's fun, it's like striped and it's green, it's not the exact same, but it's close enough. So I decided to go with this wallpaper, and I do change the desks in the end. I just kind of like use a bit more of the move objects cheat to make it look a little bit better. And I could have sworn The Sims 4 had a rocking horse toy for the kids, but I could not find it anywhere, and I didn't know, maybe that was in The Sims 3, because at one stage I was playing a lot of The Sims 3, so I was like, maybe it was a Sims 3 thing and they didn't do it in The Sims 4 thing, so I had to size up a horse toy, and I'm pretending like that is a rocking horse, because I just could not find the rocking horse toy. I'm pretty sure it was probably in The Sims 3 and I just got a bit confused. But also, I just want to add that in the game of 60 seconds, when you get the randomly generated rooms, I've seen like two of the parents' bedrooms. One is this one where it's like really big, there's a lot of space, and the other one is like a very small bedroom. This one, of the picture I was looking at, they had the big bedroom, and I like that one more than the other one, because I like the divider that's like over here where you have the suitcase, and on the other side you put the bed. So this is going to be Ted and Dolores's bedroom. Those are like the two parents. So I do like the way this bedroom turned out. I think it looks quite similar to how the game looks, and I'll be completely honest, when I was making this house, I was watching like a lot of YouTube videos, I was just doing my own thing, and I didn't have enough space to actually look fully at reference pictures, so I like beforehand I looked at the reference pictures and I jotted down like a bunch of the ideas. I was busy saying the colors, I was just writing everything down in my book, so it might not be exactly the same as the pictures looked, but it looked very similar to the stuff that I jotted down, which like I thought it was pretty accurate. Some of the stuff I had to kind of like squint my eyes and move my head and be like, what the heck is that? And at the end of the day I'm like, oh, it's a red lamp because I'm not that good at drawing stuff and I forget what I mean. So yeah, that was basically just what I was busy doing when I was building this house, and I don't think it turned out too bad. Like, I think this house looks pretty similar. If you played the game and if you see this house, you could probably tell that it's supposed to be this house, but over here we have the screenshots just to kind of finish off the whole build. And I haven't personally played 60 Seconds, but I've known people who have, and they say it's a really fun game. And I love The Sims, so I just kind of combined everything. If you guys liked this video, please hit that like button to show your support. Comment down below for other house builds you would like to see me do, and I'll surely try them. And I hope you guys really liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!